What up, y'all? I know not everyone feels like listening to a 40+ minute poll plans video for the month, so I broke it up to abbreviate my thoughts in a more easily digestible way. I know half of y'all, though, ain't subscribed, so go ahead and do that. Like the video, leave a comment with what you think about the upcoming content and your plans as well. And if you want to see the whole video, I'll be providing a link to that as well. Check that out for sure. Thanks a million, and now let's get into what you're really here for, alright? Another triple BT banner. Ooh, Lord, the end of this month is packed, man. Ardyn, Kefka, Vaan. I said that in reverse order of most impactful upgrades. Vaan, I'm sure you heard about him right now, or by now. Vaan is ridiculous, so let's talk about him. Nah, let's save him for last. Let's talk about Ardyn first, get him out of the way. Before I do that, though, I'm just going to mention that I think this is going to be tied to the Equinox banner. I'm guessing this is what they're going to do, rerun the Perfectum quest with, but I don't know for sure. And TLDR, I'm going at this the same way I do my all the triple BT banners, going all in to get what I'm missing. That being said, Ardyn is the focus here, so let's talk about him. Ardyn gets 80 LD boards, and his LD boards make his LD finally a double HP attack. The animation was there this whole time. It's finally not hideous, thank God. And he gets his hat stacks up to max pretty instantly with his LD, so you don't have to worry about breaking with Warp Strike first. It's finally not hideous, and he gets to turn more of his LD buff, which is cool, I guess. He also gets a free skill use. That's handy, because then he lasts a bit longer as well. So yeah, all good stuff. As for the actual unkillable, invincible overkill buff, he gets HP damage up and brave damage up. And that's it. That's all Ardyn really got. No rework. I mean, he's got a decent kit already, so it's serviceable. I wish he would have gotten a little bit more, but I mean, beggars can't be choosers, and he's definitely viable. He didn't stop being viable necessarily. It just compared to what Vaan got, I wish Ardyn would have gotten a little bit more respect, but again, it's always good to have a character working and upgraded at the very least. So yeah, nothing else to say there. He did get High Armor Plus. His High Armor Plus split it's an even Brave and HP cap split, so if you love Ardyn, go ahead and blow him. I don't really have anything to say either way about it personally. His calls are nothing to write home about either. Base call is just Warp Strike, and it gives you a Brave regen. And his LD call is the Dark Tornado, and it gives the caller attack and Brave and HP damage up. But again, I don't see why you'd use these calls ever. Now on to Kefka, who I think is in the middle of the road among these upgrades. Kefka doesn't get a skill rework here, but his LD boards are actually pretty solid. So now on his LD, he applies his generic debuffs, which is considered by some to be a nerf, and I understand why, because you don't get to choose what debuffs you frame now. Now you're always going to frame the attack, defense, and speed down, which is potentially unfortunate. His LD attack has more HP attacks now, and he gets a new frame buff as well as a free skill after using LD. The buff he gets is pretty similar to his burst effect, but it's just for Kefka, not for the party members. Big thing is that he gets 5% HP damage up per debuff, which means he could get 40% HP damage up for himself, provided there's 8 debuffs active on each enemy, which is pretty that's 40% is a lot. And it band-aids his skills that aren't the greatest right now. He's also got Brave damage up, and he's got Brave regen for himself and Overflow up. And the Overflow up is 40%, which I don't usually talk about Overflow numbers, but that's huge. So with enough Overflow and him getting Battery potentially beforehand, his skills are almost functionally 100% AoE just because of how Overflows work and the HP damage modifier. So Kefka's doing a lot more damage than he was before this LD board. Otherwise, he's still just the oppressive Kefka with really strong debuffs. Base call skill 2, he drops his debuffs. That's cool for just blocking out buffs, I guess. And his LD call also drops the frame ones. Very nice, and it's got his own effect. You're not going to bring this probably unless you really need debuffs, but Overflow, Brave regen, Brave damage up. Okay, whatever. His High Armor split leans HP damage, which makes sense because he has crazy HP damage modifiers and Overflow up, so he can actually feasibly hit those caps. So that's definitely a good investment if you plan to run Kefka a lot. Now for the headliner of the banner, Vaan. Vaan is getting a rework. Oh my god, it's anyone who reads out Vaan's rework to you is doing you a giant disservice because they don't value your time. Here's Vaan's rework. Ready? 1,000,000 HP attacks on both skills. Skill 2 is Splash. skill 1 holds your brave better. And the big thing about Vaan's rework is he has a bunch of brave gains in between his skills, and the brave gains are massive. So this means he ends up doing damage without actually having to do brave damage, which is pretty hilarious. He loves batteries. This is because the brave gains in between his HP attacks are based on damage dealt. So if he starts at a high brave, he'll just keep bringing it back and back and back and back and back until he just does a lot of damage without, again, having to do damage. And the LD boards are a huge part of this. First off, the LD attack follows in the same step with just being a billion HP attacks. Oh my god. And now every time when Vaan uses an ability, he has an Imperil aura like Bart's for himself, so he will never be locked out by element resist ever again. It just won't happen. It doesn't happen. Vaan no longer cares about elements. At worst, he will null them. And because of the thing I said before, where he can do damage without needing to do brave damage, Vaan went from easy to shut out to impossible to shut out. It's quite the reversal. He too got a mini BT effect on his LD, in which his M-Brave floor is raised, so he can't drop below 20% of his M-Brave. And his buff gets buffed, so now he's got overflow, HP damage up, and M-Brave up. So Vaan is just ridiculous. This guy is such a nuke, and honestly, I'm scared for what they gave him on Burst Plus and level 90, because his, like, you don't press his EX just ever again. You can honestly just take the button off of there. There's no reason to press his EX, because he won't run out of skills. The boss will just be dead before that. I mean, I'm kind of being hyperbolic here, but like really, his skills do so much more than his just crappy EX. It's actually insane, and he actually gets another use of his LD on his LD boards. I can't think of the last time that happened, honestly. I really hate the Magic Tifa comparison to Vaan, but if you boil it down to that, they're pretty similar in that regard, where they have one button that blows things up. Vaan doesn't have the turn manipulation that Tifa does, but Vaan also has the self-sufficiency where he can just blow stuff up and not really care at all. So it is what it is. Vaan's really good, even without burst. Again, I keep talking about Transcendence 4, but Vaan is one of the MVPs for that stage solely because he has nuke buttons and doesn't really care much about resistances, high defense. I mean, brave game reduction will obviously kill him pretty badly, but that's not the case here. His high armor plus split, he has the attack keystone at base, but it's even, brave and HP across the board. Makes sense. He's got HP damage up modifiers, although he probably isn't hitting his brave caps right now yet. But those HP damage caps he can definitely get beyond. Not a bad blue, but I think personally he could probably live without it for now, to be honest, because his damage is just that insane. What do I think overall? Well, Vaan's undoubtedly the winner. Kefka got some decent upgrades. Ardyn left a little bit to be desired, in my opinion. And I don't think he got much better when he gets his level. He didn't get level 90 yet. There's still hope for him there, but BT plus and rework, I didn't think he was very impressive there either. And on this tuning pass, I don't think he's great either. But definitely at least passable, and those who like using him have a decent upgrade to play around with. But yeah, Vaan is the number one here. If you don't have Vaan's LD, this is probably the banner for you, because this is a very good banner. And again, like I said in the previous triple BT banner, if you have a lot of gems, you want to hedge yourself against BT plus error personally by having potential BTs to book, and you never know what type of playstyle you might like. And I think going for whatever you're missing on this banner is a great gamble to take, and I will be doing it myself. I do have Ardyn's BT and I do have Kefka's BT, so now I'm in the what am I doing part. I don't have Vaan's BT, and I'm going to get it here by any means. Hopefully I get dupes along the way, because that'll give me BT token flexibility as I please. Not much to say. I'll give Ardyn and Kefka their board just because I've been buying Mog Pass and I have the points available to flex around on them, but I don't see myself ever using them. I don't know what I'm gonna do with Vaan personally. I'm probably leaning towards just leaving his armor at base and then pressing his nuke buttons, because I haven't had his BT and JP either, so I want to just do the button at least once because it looks like fun to just blow stuff up in that burst phase. But all these idiots should be synergy for the boss rush, so that's also a good potential use of your resources, just trying to get the synergy boost and or BT. Again, I do think millionaires, gem millionaires, people who are rich in this game should go for this, solely because of the prospect of dupes and new weapons, just only if you're missing something. Ardyn does rerun down the line alongside Arciela LD with his rework in BT plus on Divine Shiva. As for Kefka, he reruns alongside Guy's rework, and both of them are getting reworks in level 90. and then Vaan has no known rerun at this point. So again, this, if you're trying to like invest in a lot at once, this is probably the banner to do it. It isn't as good of a banner as the Warrior Light, Paladin Cecil, and Sephiroth banner, but still a good banner in its own right, in my opinion. I'll be going in on it. And that's it. Hope y'all enjoyed the clip and found it informative. I do try my best, generally. If you haven't already done so, please like the video, comment what you think and your plans, and make sure to subscribe to my channel for more great content. The full video is linked, so check that out as well. Continue showing love. Good luck, everybody. Peace.